quite snooty and self-important, which just isn't the vibe when you move to a place like Montecito. Since their move to California, very little has been shared about the Sussex couple's everyday life because Montecito is a small community and values privacy, and there's a lot of celebrity and really wealthy people who live there, and they just don't operate that way. It's supposed to be kind of like a retreat, sort of a vibe. She cultivates a very controlled image. She pays attention to every appearance, every word, every gesture, and here in Montecito, we appreciate simple people, even famous ones. Oprah Winfrey, for example, shows up at charity events. Meghan doesn't play the community game. There does need to be some balance on this. Like, obviously this is just kind of, hearsay, but it's interesting to get the perspective of people from the area. It's not very surprising. Meghan does seem to have that sort of, I will use this as my benefit, and if it's not benefiting me, I'm not giving it any time or energy, sort of a vibe of like, well, what can the quiet folk of Montecito give Meghan? Not a whole lot. So she doesn't spend a whole lot of time investing in those community or relationships. But we also have heard stories of like Meghan wanting restaurants to be cleared out and wanting to have this convoy of security roaring around Montecito, which is just unnecessary. And it speaks to Meghan and sometimes Harry's lack of awareness. They have this massive problem with not being aware of the actual dynamics at play. Like, for example, when they were in New York City, they took a 7-car convoy around a block to get to an event and went the long way around the block in their convoy so that they didn't just have to walk down the street. Walking down the street would only make sense in New York City. Everybody walks in New York City. It was ridiculous. Read the room. Out in Montecito, you're kind of already in a sort of safe space. It's a little bubble. It's far up away from LA. People really only go into Montecito if they're from Montecito. It's not really like a tourist stop. So it's not like they need to be that concerned. And making nice with the locals would do a lot for them and their reputation. But they just can't read that room. They are not aware of the fact that they're making fools of themselves, taking convoys around and sneaking out of the back door at restaurants and needing all these extra accommodations in Montecito of all places. But what do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Have a happy day, everybody.